Привет. Hello, how are you? I wonder if you follow the news, and I keep reading that Zelensky says that Russia would attack, you know, Russia is preparing for a bigger attack on NATO and Europe. But this is the same thing. And the other day, remember, Romania um, had a drone crashing in an apartment block there, and two people got injured. So this is a very bad incident because um, in any case, I mean, in wherever this happens, I mean, even, um, the thing is, we people are being programmed to be less emotional about other countries. For example, we have to have an image of the enemy. So in Europe, the enemy is Russia all the time. But um, when something happens in Russia, um, nobody feels anything. I mean, Russia said that uh, there was an attack on a dormitory with students in it. So, that's also a terrible incident. So, but the two sides are not going to be able to stop this war unless those who want this war to be keep going on, unless they would stop, like but this is not the intention of those in charge, like I don't see much intention on either side to stop this war. That's the problem. So basically innocent people suffer for no special reason, just they are yeah. And having said all these things, um I don't have hate towards any side in a real sense. Like, um I would talk to both sides if it were possible. But the thing is, you are required to have one side. And if you have that, I mean, the image of the enemy is gone. So the news tells you, and of course, when we hear terrible news, we tend to take sides. Oh, this is the innocent side, the other one is the evil side. But when retaliatory attacks occur, like revenge attacks occur, then people don't feel anything for the other victims of war. And that's really the wrong thing with society in general, in every single way. This is very wrong. We tend to take sides, and this is what we are required to do. We must take sides, and um, that's when the chance of the war to keep going is higher. When when people take sides, this is what happens. The war can keep going, right? This is what we learn to. We are programmed that one side is the evil one, the other side is the completely innocent one. But I think, in a true sense, in this world, there is not really a truly, completely 100% innocent side. In a sense, there is no such thing. And that this is not how the news tells you. No, you must judge. So you must have an image of the enemy and you must hate. This is what the news tells you. This is what makes this war going on, because the propaganda makes it keep going. And if Europe is dragged into this war, then it's even worse, because I think this drone crashing in Romania, it was intended to you know, make it yeah, like trying to stir up, you know, the European side, that they should, you know, act and do something against Russia, right? It's yeah, very simple, the reason behind. And what drone crashed into, you know, an apartment building in Romania? Was it a Russian drone, really? Like I wonder, why would Russia attack Romania, even accidentally? Like, if the drone went out of control and crashed into an area where they didn't intend to send the drone to, but still, why would this happen? And what would have Russia against Romania at all? Like, yeah, in Hungary there was, as you know, there was an election back in April this year, and the regime changed in Hungary. So, but yeah, I don't know how Russia feels about Hungary now. Ja, is Vengri? Jazy Ohorshchiny. That's, I think, how to say in Ukrainian. Я з Угорщини. Мене звати Бригитта. My name is Bridget. And yeah. But sadly, I mean, you know, I have nothing against either side, you know, in a sense. I don't like that this war is, you know, going on. But I cannot hope for it to end, because it's not the intention of either side. So yeah, for some people, a war means money. They earn a lot of money during a war. So I wish I could visit Ukraine again, but I also would go to Russia. Yeah, it's, for me, I don't have real hatred for either side, so yeah. But sadly I can't, and I'm stuck here. And yeah, so we ordinary people cannot do much about this topic. And if Europe is dragged into a war because NATO would decide so, that would be, I think, a big mistake. Because let's remember history. Back in 1812, Napoleon couldn't win against Russia. So yeah, that was, you know, back then. France tried to invade Russia, but it had failed in the end. So I think history repeats itself again and again. I keep telling the same thing, and I think we are going to, you know, witness the repetition of history. So, which is, yeah, is not cool, but what can we do about it? So, thank you for your attention. I don't think anybody cares about my live videos. When I talk about serious topics, people tend to ignore. They don't like serious topics. Everything is about you know, cheerful, smiling things, and that's life. Life is not just that. The thing is, people don't want to be serious, but that's the thing. There are times when we need to be serious, and um, we just ignore the suffering and the civilians who suffer the most. And we can't change the politicians or the people behind the politicians, the mastermind, the lobbies that advocate for war, and yeah, they keep winning. And I wish that Romania wouldn't be attacked again, or any of the other countries like Moldova, or but we don't know what we are going to hear on the news next. We don't know. So we have to be prepared for anything. So that's about the case that, this Romanian, attack, I think it would be used later on to justify a coordinated effort from European side against Russia. But who knows? Was it Russia which sent the drone into Romanian territory? Why would Russia do that? Why? Like, um, at the same time, having said that, I had an acquaintance from Romania, and actually, that person I had briefly met in person randomly at an airport before, many years ago. And when the Ukraine war, the full-scale war, broke out in 2022, um, he sent me a very unkind message that if you don't condemn completely the Russians or the Russian side, then you are this and that, and bad words. I was shocked to read that message from a person I had actually briefly, like, so face to face, many years ago. So I was shocked to read that message. And now, few years later, like more than 4 years later, the full-scale war in Ukraine and this incident that occurred in Romania, I don't know what to say. I feel sorry for that person, even though he doesn't live in that area that was affected, because Bucharest, the capital of Romania, that wasn't affected. So the place in Romania which was affected, that's, I think, near Moldova, so that town is near Moldova. So, but still, why would Russia send a drone into Romania? But Ukraine is like right, like a neighbor to Moldova, and yeah, so like Ukraine is closer to send a drone, perhaps. And that would fit the agenda, like if to justify war and make Europe like more scared and alarmed, that the European community should get together and fight against Russia, then it would be more justified, right? Oh, Europe was attacked once more, not just Ukraine, but let's say Romania, and then we would have more justification to attack Russia completely, right? This is the narrative, I think, that's being orchestrated. Slowly, we are going to have. So, what they think of the Russian side? I wonder. What do you think of Russians in general? Um, I have seen many Russian tourists in Turkey, but haven't had the chance to talk to many at all. I mean, too few, just a few words to exchange with, like mostly they don't talk to strangers, so it's very difficult to talk to Russians because they don't talk to strangers. And but the few I had briefly talked to, the tourists, they were okay. They were, you know, there was nothing special or wrong about them. But yeah, this topic is dragging on for a long time and no end, because the rhetoric is kept being told Europe must be scared of Russia, even more because Romania was attacked the other day. And so, yeah, like Europe needs to have a collective, collaboration, even more against Russia. Like they already have been talking about, Russia for years and years and years. And no end to this rhetoric. And then if Europe is sinking, the economy is sinking, nobody is going to say, oh, maybe there's some fault with this idea to fight. But nobody comes up with that maybe this war is wrong to go against Russia, and the European economy is getting worse and worse. So we should stop doing this. Nobody says that. Nobody wants to say that this is wrong. I don't know if you get my point. But yeah, it's annoying. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm pretending that, yeah, everything is okay, but it's not. So, anyway. Nobody cares about the serious topics when I'm talking about this. It's like I'm talking to the wall. It's like nobody is interested in. But that's the problem, that people are interested in the shallow, superficial topics, which it doesn't lead the society further, like into progress. If people are only interested in shallow, superficial things, then it's not going to make society any better. But this is deliberate action that, people want other people to be, like, uh, be shallow, be superficial, and care about simple things and ignore the serious things. Then people are surprised when the economy is getting worse. And yeah, this is the result. Europe is going to get worse. Europe is not good. Thank you for watching, and please care more about the news or the people, who are suffering. And yeah, take care. Bye.